Welcome back to another episode of #WinningYouReal Came here. Today I want to talk with you about what it feels like to be a teenager in business. Specifically, if you're watching this, you're a health professional, growing your business online. The reality is that you're most likely going through the teenage years. You have a business that is relatively, let's say, early stage, right? So you're not doing $1 million a month plus, okay? I'm making that assumption. And because of that, you would typically be considered a small or a very small business, right? Most of us are. One of the things that I've noticed that's really interesting around this phase of growth, and when I say this phase of growth, I'm talking like 0 to 1. So 0 to $1 million in revenue, we'll call it the teenage years. But very much like the teenage years in humans, the emotional roller coaster is very similar in business. And what I want to hopefully share with you here is that if you can learn how to neutralize the emotions, you'll do a lot better off in business. You'll get a lot, you'll get closer to where you want to go a lot faster, and you might enjoy the ride a little bit more. So if we think about the teenage years, hormones kick in, we have the up and down roller coaster. I hate you, I love you, things are great, it's the end of the world, right? That emotional roller coaster, the same thing is happening in your business from 0 to 1. So it's easy for me to share this looking back. I also understand that it's hard to live this because I was in this position many moons ago. I remember the first 3 years of my business were a disaster. Back in 2005 to 2009-ish, I was making less than poverty line income. I was working really hard and making very little progress. If you ever felt that way, I get it. But I think one of the biggest differences that I've noticed in myself over the years in business is that I'm a lot more neutral with stuff that happens. And it's not to say that business gets easier. It doesn't. It actually gets harder, to be honest. The problems, the scope of the problems, the size of them, the stakeholders, all of that just gets bigger as you grow your business, right? Like when you first start, it's just you. And then as you grow, you have other people, more clients, more team members, more risks you're taking on. You have more to lose. And theoretically, objectively speaking, the problems as you get bigger are significantly worse potentially than when you first start out, right? When you're first starting out, you're like, I don't understand how to set up an opt-in page. As you grow to millions of dollars, the challenges change, right? But the thing is that it doesn't get easier. You just have to get better. And the only difference really over my time in business, 20 years now, is that I recognize patterns and I don't freak out or overjoy, celebrate when things are great or things are not great. Because it's not that something happens and it's good or something happens and it's bad. It happens. And when you understand that everything in life is seasons, like seasonality, right? What goes up will come down. After summer comes winter. Winter feels really shitty and cold. And guess what? What happens after winter? Spring. And then after spring, summer. And it's very similar in business. It's very cyclical. And I'll share another analogy with you is, I really encourage you to stick through what you're going through because the alternative is that you jump ship and start something new. And a lot of times we think the grass is greener on the other side, but it's really not. It's greenest where you water it. So going back to the season analogy, we decided to build our dream home in Mexico because we love this location. And also we want to get out of the winter, right? So we're trying to escape the winter by moving somewhere else. But what's interesting is that although it's been great being here for 4 months, it's come with its own challenges. So it's not like we're escaping the winter and everything's going to be peaches and roses. No, there's been a lot of little details that are just can we get this fixed, right? Get this thing figured out and finalized and all this kind of stuff. And I share this because in your business, you have things going on wherever you're at that you'd rather not deal with. And it's so easy to say, I don't want to deal with this stuff. I don't want to deal with the winter. I'm going to do this other thing, i.e. live somewhere else, metaphorically speaking, because it's going to be better over there. And it might be better, but it doesn't come without problems. The difference is you take yourself everywhere you go. So can you handle those problems? Can you go with the flow? Can you handle the rockiness of the boat? Or again, when you run into another challenge, are you looking to jump ship and do something new? So please understand that what you're going through right now in business, again, if you're sub $1 million, is the teenage years. It feels volatile. There's heightened emotions. There's sleepless nights. There's the doubt of like, what the hell am I doing? Should I just give up and do something else? It's totally okay to feel that way. And I want to let you know that I just want you to keep going through it, because the only way you get through it, like the only way you get to it, is to go through it. So if you want to go from 0 to 1, and whatever your 0 to 1 is, maybe it's 0 to your first 100,000, or maybe it's you're at 100,000, you want to get to 1 million. Like that 0 to 1 is like that first $1 million is really, really tricky you have to figure everything out, right? Product market fit, your communication skills, marketing and sales, understanding all the nuances of building a business online. You have to do all of it. And there's no way around it. Like you can't like just outsource all this stuff and expect someone else to fix your business. It's not going to happen. You'll actually tank your business faster by doing that. So it's being okay. Like you're getting into the landscape and you're saying to yourself, okay, this is going to be, it's kind of like signing up for a Tough Mudder. Like, you know, it's going to be tough and you just train for it. You just get ready for it. And that's it. Like there's no easy button. There's no shortcut. And please understand that you will go through the emotional roller coaster, and you will have many moments where you're like, fuck this. I'm calling it a day. I'm going to go make lattes. Speaking of lattes, I'm going to have my iced coffee. I'm going to go make coffee at Starbucks. Like, please don't do that. Like, you've got bigger dreams and people need your help, as I need my iced coffee. It's pretty good. So all of this to say that no matter what it is you're doing, no matter what type of business model you have, whether you're selling coaching, supplements, information, they're all challenging. Okay. There's no one business model that's easier. Coaching might sound easier, right? Because, I can charge high ticket. Well, cool. Awesome. Well, then you got to get good at selling. Well, I don't want to sell. Cool. Then do information. Then you have to get very, very good at getting people to buy stuff for little to no money and making that scalable and profitable somehow. I'm going to do supplements. Like, what I'm trying to get at is like, none of these are easy. All of them have their pros and cons. Is like, you just have to understand, like, you're doing what you're doing for some reason, right? You probably want to help people. You want to transform our lives, but God forbid, please do not grow your business with the intention of passive income and I don't really want to do anything. Okay. Like I'm all for working smarter, right? I'm all for being more efficient in what you do, but please don't expect your business to just like, okay, I'm going to sit back and collect cash. Like that's not going to happen. Like it's just not going to happen. I've talked about this many times before, but understand that if you get better at doing what you do, it will feel relatively easier. So 0 to 1 feels hard. 1 to 3, not too bad. 3 to 10, that's pretty good. 10 plus, whatever. There's different challenges. There's different kind of bad guys, if you will, for playing a video game along the way. And theoretically, objectively, they're harder, but you get better, right? You have more tools in your toolkit. You have more experience. You have more, as I mentioned earlier, pattern recognition. Like you've seen the pattern over and over again, and you know how to handle it and respond. One of the hardest things to really figure out early on in business is you haven't seen the pattern before. And that's why people come to us. That's why your clients come to you, because they're coming to you with a problem they can't solve. And you're like, I eat this for breakfast every day, because you've seen the pattern over and over and over again, and you know how to recognize the pattern. You know how to change the pattern or, implement a new pattern to get them better results. So when someone comes to me and says, hey, Yuri, like, I'm having a tough time getting clients. Okay, cool. Like, that's high level, but let's really go under the hood and figure out why you're not getting enough clients, right? People don't know who you are. They know who you are, but they don't understand what you do. They do understand what you do, but they don't want what you have to offer. Or they do know what you have, know what you have to offer. They want it, but they don't trust you. Those are the 4 growth killers. Okay, cool. So how to become more visible? All right, there's a playbook for that, right? And when you start to break down the business in very specific ways, like you start to recognize patterns. Okay, my cost per lead is high if I'm running ads. Okay, well, why is that the case? We look at the metrics and we look at the patterns, and we've seen the patterns thousands of times, so therefore we know how to fix them. So when you are able to see patterns over and over and over again, what it gives you is a very high degree of confidence. Not that you know exactly what to do, but confidence because you've been able to solve similar things in the past. And I think that's one of the most important reasons why it's really important to keep pushing forward in what you're doing. It's going to feel like you're hitting your head against the wall. It's going to feel like it's hurting. It's going to feel like you want to give up sometimes. But please understand that by enduring, you build resilience, you build pattern recognition. And that pattern recognition, honestly, it's priceless. Because if you think about it, if I've been doing this for 20 years and you started last year, I have 20 times the experience that you do in this particular domain of building a coaching business online. So you could try to do it on your own, or you could move theoretically 20 times faster by me having a look at your business and saying, oh, that's an issue. Do you know how to solve that? And you're like, no. And I'm like, well, here you go, do this. And that's what you're doing for your clients too. So that pattern recognition is really important. But you can't build the pattern recognition if you just give up when the going gets tough. You have to understand that by going through the gauntlet subjectively feels easier because you get better, you become more skilled, you recognize the patterns, and you know how to jump around the loopholes, right? So if you're giving feedback or guidance to someone who's starting out, you're like, hey, don't turn left there, go right. It's a lot safer. And that's why people come to you. But the reality is that you can't build that level of expertise if you just give up. And my message to you here is just keep going. Be okay with the emotional roller coaster because it doesn't stop. It always continues. And the difference is the longer you stay in business, the less of this it feels like. And then it's just a little bit more casual, more calm, more zen. It's that the amplitude of the highs and lows become a lot more neutralized. And that means you're able to move through the challenge of growing a business with a lot more grace, where you're not losing sleep every night. Maybe you're losing sleep once a month, as an example. So I just wanted to share this because this is top of mind, because this is stuff I see all the time. So hopefully this message finds you well. If it has, let me know in the comments below. Hope you have an amazing day, and I'll see you in the next video. I want to share an interesting insight that I've had while I've been here for the past almost 4 months, homeschooling the kids, is that, we obviously work with health professionals, and one of the biggest complaints that they come to us with is they want help getting clients to grow their business online. And second is that they're just burnt out from doing one-on-one and the whole grind. And I totally understand that.